appearing over the horizon. It's Vici looking to save Asian Counter-Strike from what has been a how do you say that? Tyrannous? Tyrannous? Tyrannical, thank you. A tyrannical. I could have went with something else, but I wanted to try experiment a little bit. But yeah, it's been an odd couple years.
I like how you've now switched from the word tyrannical to odd.
Yeah, but the rule of TYLOO seems to be coming to an end. You know, they've been in this position where they've played super loose Counter-Strike for so long, and we have waited, Tom. We've waited and waited for someone to punish them, and finally it happened. But question was it just a flash in the pan from Vici beating TYLOO, or are people starting to adapt in this region and starting to cop onto their tricks? Well, we saw from Tiger in that previous map, there were a couple rounds where they were actually just waiting. They were just stood there like, all right, TYLOO, come on, you push. We're ready for you. We know what you're going to do. And they shut down B and Ivy at the same time. It was fantastic to watch. They were getting trades. They were playing to counter TYLOO, which is something we haven't seen for a while, or at least we haven't seen teams do successfully. Now the question is, can they knock them out and actually really punish them by stopping them getting to a finals?
Well, that's the thing. Like we sort of saw the interview at the beginning of the tournament and almost like sort of scoffed and laughed at like the fact that Tiger said that they were prepared, they were looking for TYLOO, they were gunning for that #1 spot, and we saw them then lose to Checkmate, and we're sort of joking about how they're not even the best team within Mongolia at the moment. And to be fair, the way they looked in that first couple of matches, they weren't. They struggled. But I think it's clear where their time and preparation has gone in. They're ready for what TYLOO have to offer. They were prepared for what Vici had to offer as well. And that's the problem. Like, there's the saying of if you come at the king, you best not miss. Well, it seems like everybody's been ready for the king for quite a while. They put a lot of preparation in. Obviously, they've been watching them from afar. And the fact is, the king may finally fall. And in the most important tournament of all, the road to the major, obviously, we don't know how many RMR events there are now going to be. So realistically, this might not be the end, even though TYLOO is still going to be at the top. Here we go. They start on the T side. TYLOO's road to redemption. Yeah, Urkus on the flank. Also, he may not even be needed. Their CT side have done a fantastic job. Cabal dropping 3 in the pistol. It's left on to Attacker. An absolute slaughter of the TYLOO side. No bomb plant. No real money made, as they don't even manage to get a kill in the pistol round. But of course, that's pistol round #1. They've got to beat pistol #2.
You know, I was ready for Urkas to get a sick flank, but it looks like short of him genetically fusing his agent with Usain Bolt, he wasn't going to be able to get there. Look, he W-keyed straight through the A site from the very start of this round, through ramp, all the way up behind them, and he couldn't get to the site in time. That's how quick that round ended. You got to start this one out for Tiger. They've got SMGs. They've got a massive advantage over TYLOO, but with the Deagles, we've seen TYLOO win more than their fair share of rounds, and it starts out with an opening to 9. The A site now under threat. 2 players in CT, 1 towards connector. Great flash over from middle to allow Urkas to entry. Dobu in with another, but Summer, he's already got 2. This is disgusting as Danking looks to do a little bit more, but it ends up in a 1v2 for Summer. Low HP and a very difficult situation as the M4 cleans him up with just 1 bullet. 2-0. Tiger take it. It's not clean. It's not easy, but it is the second round.
I honestly wish we could just give all of Danking's skill to someone with better decision making. Like this turned into a 2v2. The bomb is down, so what he does is he picks it up, or that's what it seemed to be, and then moved it further forward. Oh no, wait, that's the last player. But even still, Danking, they could have just got the bomb down in a 2v2. They were both towards connector, and he just faces them. It's just manic. And I understand wanting to try and get yourself an advantage, but get the bomb down, get some money. Mean that you could have an actual buy into this round. somebody. His position has been given up, and sure, they've done a little bit of damage off the back of the small investment of pistols. Summer could make this interesting. They should be aware of how much control they've actually given up. The man does have a deagle as well, so if he wanted a chance to take the range fight, but he's going to get up nice and close, that's the freebie. There's still a player on short, though, and it's Cabal. He started this game off incredibly well, but this time they do cross to the site, and Summer, he's got another duel one. It's on to Urkes to actually ace this one. Somebody's going to be burnt out of the corner. He needs a shot with the P250, upgrade slightly to an MP9. He does have no armor. Oh, no, he does have armor, sorry. He invested into it. I'm quite surprised by that. This duel is a little bit more even than maybe you'd expect. In fact, almost deadly even at this point. And with the bomb in his favor, Urkes needs this kill. Somebody's going to close it. They invested into a few deagles, a P250 Kevlar, and Urkes gets 4 kills, and they still lose.
Mm-hmm. That's where we're at right now. It's not great. But for TYLOO, it's funny how well, it's not really that different to the previous round. Like, they had the opportunities to win that previous round where they had the 5 deagles. All they had to do was not buy 5, just buy 1 less. No, but in all seriousness, it was a lot of poor decision making, as you were saying, for Dan King. You know, you want to transfer his skills over. In this one, I don't know that it was particularly improved, just not tested in the same way, let's say. Cabal opening it up. It's one of the few M4s they've managed to muster up on the CT side, so a very valuable opening pick to try and bridge the gap on the disadvantage that they've got in terms of hardware. TYLOO, well, they just group up and look to push into this A site. 4 players on their way towards the ramp and Palace. And they have no control, which is the problem. You know, pushing into Palace at this late stage is dangerous considering how aggressive Tiger have been playing. And considering the buy that they're up against, but they're going to go in. Now, for a second, Summer had the bomb, which is what really scared me. I thought he was going solo with the bomb through Palace, but luckily he's not. He will face off against Dobu, the SMG up close. Dobu will, oh my god, that was a great shot by 9. He's taking the headshot, and even with Dobu falling, they've still got the man advantage, and time is on their side, but a great return by Dan King.
Okay. Someone wanting to make sure his teammate's covered and peeks out of the Palace. Mental. Absolutely mental, but it works out for him. The peek into the connector, completely unnecessary, but it will give them the 2 versus 1. NCL doesn't have a kit, so he's going to try and tap the bomb to bait them out. Summer, and she's just going to play this smart. Just shoulder peeks until he can spot the final man. His teammate also falling back on the ramp. And it is going to be 2-2. I think Summer and Slowly are the 2 players that I want to have in every single clutch situation ever for TYLOO from now on. I even think that if it's somebody else in a clutch situation, they should, like, get up out of their seat and swap places. Because it's just like, that 2v1, very well played. Spot the information, move back, hold the position. The 3v2 is Dan King aggressively wide-swinging connector through a smoke. Like, you can do the math. I don't need to.
Mm-hmm. Val's managed to open this one with a little bit of damage to himself. He's been wrecked. But at least they managed to take down Summer. So that's a rifle. Oh, it's an SMG. Retrieve. Attacker, what are you doing? It's pistols. And then we're getting a push coming out from Dan King, which I understand. Obviously, he's got the SMG. The attacker was in danger. He got peeked by a lot of players. Luckily, didn't get taken down. And 1 MAC-10 lost. Lots of SMG kills. You'll take that trade. It's worthwhile. Here's the full buy featuring no op for either team. Obviously, more so forced for Tiger. The opportunity is there for TYLOO to take one. SMG to look for entries as they come out of middle and go through the smoke on short. Great decision making. So they've been shut down on 1 kill, and the return there, Urkes, not hearing the player coming up through connectors. Summer shift walking. And, oh, this is so disjointed, man. One player rushes out ramp while the Palace player is running back, and Summer isn't even pushing the smoke. Then he's seen on the edge of it. Why is the guy going out ramp in that case and trying to get Tetris control when there's no pressure being applied anywhere else? It just means that they're obviously going to feel free to look at you and take that fight. And more importantly, it can't be traded.
Yep, nothing that TYLOO can do in that round, at least. A 3v3. 3-3 scoreline, I should say. We are going to have an investment. Dan King able to get his AWP into play for the first time, and there isn't going to be one yet for 9. Much better purchase coming up for Tiger, though. Last round definitely had some pieces missing in their utility department now. That has been maxed. A few kits to play with as well. Obu going to play close to the sandwich. It's looking like TYLOO are just going to play a fairly standard execution into this A site. Oh, already Dobu starting things off fantastically well. He actually gets the kill onto Dan King as well, who's holding back with the AWP. The swing almost necessary because he was stuck in the corner. 9 actually going to sit on the other side of the smoke. That's a free kill. Positions not being cleared properly by TYLOO, and now they have to try and make some sort of aggro play elsewhere. Attacker, he manages to catch out one. A re-smoke into connector. At least gives them a little bit of time. But actually, Urkus given his position away. That's information. NCL finds somebody, and now Attacker has it all to do. We saw him win a 1v3 from this exact position before, but I don't think Tiger are going to make those same mistakes.
I doubt it. The attacker's got to do it all and find those opportunities for himself. This Tiger shouldn't be giving this one away. Plant faked out. But they're not biting. They're going to allow him to even have that plan potentially. As he goes for the second time, though, they get a little bit curious. Group up, start to push. One, looking for a second. He almost gets it. If he took down 9... that round was likely going to be his. So a very important kill coming through from the man himself. And now a defuse to bring it 4-3.
Tiger take the lead. For anybody wondering, if Tiger win this map, just this map, TYLOO are out in 3rd place. I don't think many would have predicted that going into the tournament. They haven't been at their best, that's for sure, but to not even make the final, not even lose to Vici, I think that would be a shock. Urkus is definitely looking to play that pivotal role, though. 131 ADR, 9 kills to start. Definitely a long, long way to go. And there's going to be some pistols invested into for TYLOO. As we were sort of talking about, they have one of the best, or they have the best win percentage with these pistols in the world. So don't count them out. Although there's still a fairly high chance that Tiger are going to be able to get this one over the line. You'd hope, at least. Well, again, it's looking like that same A-site execution. The problem I'm seeing from TYLOO, though, is like in the entry department, they're doing very well. Even in some of the after plants, they're doing quite well. The problem is that just their decision making when they actually get towards planting the bomb, they're not clearing angles properly, which is a bare basic of Counter-Strike. The CTs here are somewhat set up for more of a retake scenario. Not going to be facing too much, although Dobu, that is aggressive, but he gets away with one, decides to fall back. They're not going to be able to stop the plant, but they've got a man advantage, and going into a after plant situation, they should be good here. This is very aggressive, though. The T side tried to take control. Dan King needs an instant shot, and Urkus won't allow for that. Summer, however, has managed to find one. He could catch the second player, but Cabal, while peeking through the murder hole, survives. Somebody now lurking back through. They should expect him here. It's the most obvious position he could be. And NCL gets dinked, but that will be all. 5-3. Tiger get it over the line, but it's at least an economy boost for TYLOO.
So all she wrote. But yeah, the bomb plan, it is that little bit of a leg up, I suppose, for the TYLOO side. We talk about the CT side of Tiger. We talk about it a lot. The last time that they played, when it came down to Mirage, as I said, it was 19-16 in favor of TYLOO. And it started out with 8 rounds on the T side for each team. At the moment, Tom, little bit of a different story. TYLOO definitely not looking as strong in the early game as they have in the past. They did lose the pistol, which obviously does give Tiger that extra little boost. But with a 2-round lead, if they can hold on, if they can win this round here, they're already setting the foundations for a better CT half. And at that stage, I start to worry for TYLOO, because I don't want to say this isn't a team that performs under pressure. I want to say this is a team that hasn't ever had to experience pressure. Not for a long time. I mean, in terms of losing a series, sure, they've been there. We saw it even versus Invictus, but in terms of being knocked out of a tournament, not in the final, that doesn't happen for TYLOO in this region. Sure, if they're playing internationally, but
it did happen once.
It did happen, yeah, but I mean, like, regularly. This isn't something that they face. They're used to just being the Titans that come in and win. And I'm curious to see whether they've... Oh, that's a whiff and a half by 9. That might cost them the round, honestly. That's huge map control for TYLOO.
Yeah, they're going to give it up. Look to try and keep their weaponry. That's the thing, though. Again, we talk about like these positions for TYLOO. That's such a risky play from somebody, almost as risky as that. I guess for him, it came down to more than just letting them get away with their guns. He wanted to try and kill them off before they could save all those extra weapons. The AK is going to be picked up, though. The AWP also saved. It's not too bad for Tiger. Money will be enough for them to buy into this next round. Both Cabal and NCL have enough to drop a rifle and still buy up some utility behind it. Well, TYLOO need to start building something here. 5-4, it's not a bad scoreline for them whatsoever, but the rounds they've had so far have been streaky. Like, it's been very back and forth. They've been having some silly plays, losing some silly rounds. If they win this one, well, they take the lead. Almost guaranteed. The money won't be great for Tiger.
But they'll get what they need. And at that stage, Tiger, they'll plead. And I thought you were going to continue on the rhyme.
I know, but that rhyme didn't make sense. They won't.
Well, you know what, Tom?
What they need. They'll have no money.
I'm done with you, man. I'm done with you. I like the little boost. Try and get someone coming out of Palace, but it's a full round commitment. TYLOO already gotten themselves the bomb plant, and now this is going to be a harsh retake, but Urcast through the smoke catches the head of slowly. 2 players up close and sandwiched, but he actually has support of that op on 9, who's able to take down attacker and stave off any further aggression. They know there's a player in sandwich. Huge info to work off of. Danking needs to hold strong as somebody comes on the flank. He's making his way up behind Connector, but they've spotted him now at 2 versus 2. Time on the T side, though. 12 seconds left. They've got to stick this bomb. The swing has to come through, and Danking's gotten him. A full stick by 9. 5 seconds, and it's done. It's dusted. TYLOO have won the round, and both players are dead. Wow. That is a tight round for TYLOO, but Danking, well, he has just saved the day.
That was a 4-on-2. See, the thing is, like, again, I talk about TYLOO's after plants. Like, the initial player going down's a problem, and I understand that there's a clear need for them to try and be proactive when they've lost a player like that. The thing that really bugs me is that they evidently have a plan for somebody to come in on the flank, but they all push before he can even get close. So, like, 2 of the players go down, and Danking just has to hold the ramp. Now, he does a fantastic job. I'm not going to take anything away from Danking in this situation. He holds the line. He buys enough time for somebody to get in. It's the 2 players beforehand that just go running into the connector. It's like they have 2 different plans on going at once. One is to have this intelligent flank to deny a defusal. The other is to take jungle. You need to do one or the other. Like, if you're going to try and do multiple plans at once, there's a very high chance you lose the round. And unfortunately for Tiger, they just don't capitalize. They needed to kill off one of those players sooner. They don't. And because of that, the round slips away. And they also were trying to fight on 2 different fronts at once. So both teams sort of lacking in the communication department in that round. And well, unfortunately for Tiger, it cost them more than just the round. As said, it was their finances that go in the bin because of it.
If anyone thinks of that as a slight exaggeration, by the way, just think about it from an objective standpoint. Your flanker's coming up to flank, what, connector? If you push connector and take that control, risking your life in the process, as you saw those players die, what's the point of the flank? Is he coming up behind your players? Like, there is no point. So it wasn't even necessarily just the fact, like, if they push CT, it would still be reckless to push. But it's even more so because you're pushing the place that your flanker's coming in on. So now you're just negating the point of your flanker if you succeed, and if you lose, you're making the round so much harder for yourself. So it really doesn't pay off in any way. Which again comes back to the point you're making, Tom, of what's going on. Oh, okay. Well, we've just seen someone get tased. It's a sad sight. It's a 2v3, Tom. If they leave NCL or Dobu unchecked, oh, they've left him on. Oh, that's so unfortunate. A headshot without a kill. That round could have went their way.
It means also that TYLOO have built up next to no cash over there. The sort of anti-eco rounds. I think we've seen a lot of weak anti-ecos from TYLOO, which is fairly uncommon. That's something we talk about with this team, is that, like, even games they've been losing, we've seen, like versus Vici yesterday, I think they were losing like 14-9, and their average of like HP at the end of rounds was the same. Like, very, very close. Because that's just what they do. When they do finally win a round, when they break your economy, they win the anti-eco flawlessly. Today, that's not been the case. Like, Tiger have done a very good job. In fact, they closed the last map playing what was basically an eco round. So, TYLOO have definitely been a bit off today. I also think Tiger are playing well. Well, this round, at least, we are going to see an investment. 9 back on his AWP, being utilized to try and control into mid. It seems like Cabal might even be watching the underpass from short. It's a bit of a risky angle because it means that 9 has to hit his shot, but hey, it's not expected at all. And now you're probably going to see a repeat. That's the force off the angle. 9 doesn't connect, and by this point, Cabal's already left.
So no punishment in mid, a free pick for Tiger, and a good start. The shoulder peek spotted, but 9, he's tagged up. He has to fall back. The molly buys him a little bit of extra time. He's going to look in towards jungle. Really, they need another player to come and support in con. Now, obviously, all of TYLOO, all 2 players are coming in from connector, but they don't know that. They can fully commit towards it. Somebody's tagged down so heavily. Dan King left alone, and they know where he is. He just shut off with the op, giving away his position. He's going to run away and try to save this op. Their money won't be great at all, will it? Because they've won so many rounds now. 3 in a row. They'll get practically no cash, so a full buy alongside this op won't even be possible. And I'm happy to see I did my math correctly. That's the first.
Yeah, this comes back to what I was mentioning before about antique around. So they've not done a very good job of keeping those clean, which, as said, that's fairly uncharacteristic for TYLOO. They're renowned for winning 4 spies and, well, keeping their anticos clean. Because of that, we're going to see a minor investment. But again, the loss bonus is still poor. So even going into the next round, this was a hesitant decision. Dan King's going to go for the opener. Missed shot from 9. I don't know if he expects the AWP to be holding him here. Flashbang off the angle, and that will allow him to escape. Something at least. Don't you dare repeat that.
Okay. I was holding my breath for that one as well, waiting for Cabal to jump, to be honest. I could see it happening. They've got a 3-man stack on B, though, so looking for some aggression wouldn't be completely out of the question. On the B side in particular, where you've got those extra players in case you fall and they rush afterwards. Eventually, with lacking any more information or any further aggression, I think you have to see NCL fall back. But there's the aggression from TYLOO. They're giving away the game plan, and he got up behind Cabal, taken down from short. This is a bit of a disaster. There's T's everywhere. It's messy, and the trades keep on coming through for TYLOO, somehow keeping themselves in it. and they are looking to win it. Damage done to Danking. He's got an op now, which kind of makes up for his low HP. This is a really tough retake for Tiger, but it's made a little easier with slowly falling. Still Danking on an op, never an easy opponent. With low HP, the spam through the box proves to be enough. An op saved, a 7th round now for Tiger. And I mentioned last time, both T sides got 8 rounds. Well, this is TYLOO's opportunity to find that little bit more.
They're going to retrieve the double op setup as well. Again, it's kind of weird. It's not like there's anybody like criminally underperforming for TYLOO. It just seems like these rounds where they get into clutch situations, normally we expect them to win, and Tiger have actually done a very good job of actually closing out a fair few of them. I think Urkus has been a big part of that. He's back to his usual self, which is nice to see. After a quieter performance in their first game yesterday. Bear in mind, he absolutely battered Invictus. But yeah, this is the exact point I was making. Normally, we see TYLOO win this stat every time. So I'm glad that PGR have actually been able to bring that up. Because there's 1 round difference, and it's more than double, which is mad. Or it is double.
A lot of the rounds TYLOO have won, though. You know, we've been looking at the likes of Deagles and stuff where they've managed to get it down into like 1v1s or 2v1s in the end. So it makes sense they're surviving with so little HP considering how close their round victories have been. But as you're saying, that's not something that we've seen before. And for Tiger to be more than double the HP surviving, it just shows how much more convincing they've looked.
Exactly.
It's terrifying. It really is. Because if you're TYLOO, this is not where you want to be shaky. It's not where you want to be playing the odds against yourself. Great nade. Damage done to Urkas. He's down to 40 HP, and he should be taken down. They know he's here. Okay, good. They'd left him unchecked. I would have lost my mind. Ooh. Great damage by TYLOO.
And NCL's going to get in on the action as well, just cleaning things up. It's left all onto Attacker, and he can't get anything done. Tiger looking good on their CT side. Not something I've said too often throughout this tournament. And well, it's going to be another horrible buy for TYLOO. They haven't had many good buys throughout this entire half. Their economy has been ruined so many times.
They win them. This is the thing. Whenever it's the bottom of the barrel buys, that seems to be when they win. I think it's exemplified by... What was it? They came in with full Deagles on the 2nd round, lost, and then the 3rd they ecoed and won. And that's how things have gone quite frequently here. Nice deep nade. It's oh, look at that. Ooh. Somebody down to 25 HP. Valuable damage done early on. He lets him by a little bit for eventually swinging on through to the site, and he must be dead. There we go. Oh, what? They looked at him. Cabal pushed through. Oh, he had an op there, didn't he?
Yeah, Danking's managed to retrieve it. He's going to go with the Deeg instead. And unfortunately, Mitch, it only works when I predict that they're going to win a 4-spy round. It doesn't work when you do it. You don't have the power.
Oh, man, I'm not looking forward to this if Tiger win. That big smile on Dingo's face.
Got the same smile right now, but for very different reasons.
A bit of sweat on his brow. With every round that TYLOO win, because he's thinking that maybe his prediction won't come through.
Oh, we'll see. CT side for TYLOO. We've said they've also had some poorer T sides in this tournament, so there's still the potential for them to bring this back, but they haven't looked particularly good today. Tiger have definitely been the better of the two teams. There's not much of a question there. CT pistol will be important. It's going to be Danking to at least find one back after the initial frag. Doesn't have much support here, but he's still being given the option to fight through. Great flash gives Urkus to peek through the smoke, and Danking just goes running into the fray. NCL should have a freebie, and now it's left onto somebody. 7 HP, 2 players to find. No chance.
Not even a tiny chance. Slowly has got 4 kills, Tom. It's not great, I'll be honest. He was a solo B player in the previous map again. good towards the start of the CT side and quite poor towards the end. But I wouldn't just put the onus on him. I think TYLOO, they've made some questionable decisions, but Tiger have looked clean. They've definitely looked like the better team. And look, we've said that plenty of times with teams versus TYLOO that, you know, someone looks like a better team, but TYLOO are still winning. But I mean, even as individuals, they're definitely showing up to a greater extent. And right here, right now, Galil's dominating. 3 Galils and 2 SMGs. It's an interesting buy. It gives them a lot more utility to play off of. And considering they're in a 5v2, at this point, I don't even expect they'll use most of that utility. Probably just go in for the dry fights with the Galils and close this one out. Don't go through the murder hole. Don't go through the murder hole.
Oh, somebody not realizing that they have pushed. The bomb's actually still in the spawn, but it's not going to make a difference. 9 will clear things up. 11-6. 5 rounds needed to eliminate TYLOO in the lower bracket. Seemed like an impossibility when we started off the match yesterday. The fact is, no matter what, Dinko is still technically wrong because he did say that Vici wouldn't get to the final. So we can at least have that as a saving grace.
True, true.
No matter if he's right, he's still wrong. Okay, here we go. Danking, this is his, I would say, his signature position. The aggressive ramp play is something that TYLOO pull out regularly. Summer's already dead, though. Man at the back, that must have been killed from short. That's slightly ridiculous. The flashbang comes in. That's going to net a couple of kills, in fact, leaving it onto somebody on the B site. Sure, the aggressive play from Attacker sits around the ramp. It does still look like it's going to be a B player. Dobu, who's gone nuclear in this round. 3 kills with a Galil. He made that look easy. And while it is a 12th, there's nothing that Attacker can do about that.
Nope, not a thing. Just save over this M4, I think, is the only option he has. 12-6. Man, oh man, for TYLOO to go down to Vici and then Tiger afterwards and get 2-0, that would be unbelievable. The streets will be crazy. The parties. I can imagine it now. I can picture it, Tom. The king has fallen. TYLOO have been defeated at last. Could even get like we should have had some sort of a medieval speech, like the king in the dining hall.
I think we should just steal. We should just steal like the North way of removing players, where it just looks like they've killed them off and just put them in a boat, and then it's just like we can just have TYLOO just in the boat burning as they go down the river.
I remember that. I was like, is he dead? Like what?
Yeah, the way when they said the who was it?
I can't remember the player.
No, the first one wasn't. It was Kirby eventually, but it was Mytha won it when he went to.
I think so.
Renegades. Like he was the first one. I was like, is he okay? And it's like, oh yeah, no, he's just leaving the team. It's like, why have you made it look like he's died?
Even the phrasing as well was like, today we say goodbye to. It's like, yeah. What? What do you mean, dude? Like what? We should do that then. We just have a funeral. Instead, because that's the Nordic funeral, right? So just like a coffin, put them in the ground, 6 feet of dirt on top of them. It's like, oh no, they're just going to a different team. That's just what we do here. That was so odd.
And then there's Kirby going, phase up,
like rises from the ground, just phase up. Oh yeah, it was unusual, but here we go. An unusual sight as TYLOO behind by 6, half the rounds of their opponents. Now on the CT side, they've got pistols, they've got 1 rifle, and they're going to win this round. They've just picked up another AK. The rifle's now looking to deal the damage. If I'm Tiger, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. They're running in towards an A stack. 4 players here. Oh, they're not going to win this round over on the Tiger side. They've just been absolutely slapped. This is what TYLOO needed to get back into the game. Dobu, he's so close to getting this done. but 4 HP now. He's been tickled up by the pistols. Cabal's here to help him out, but he can't get the bomb and get out of there. That's the problem. The smoke down as he looks to run away, but it's a spam through the wall that takes him down. 12-7. What a round for TYLOO to win. Jeez, that is a TYLOO round if ever I've seen one.
And so it begins. This is where things start to get a little bit shaky for Tiger. They've still got money for now. And that's the one thing they've been very good at. They've been good at breaking back, not allowing this to snowball into a bigger snowball. As we are going to see the AWP repurchased. Adult battle will ensue once again. Dobu's been phenomenal in this map as well. Gave it a damn good go at bringing that round back, and he has brought them a few on his lonesome. Urkust is back to his usual tricks. Slowly is 5-16. Been a rough day at the office. Cabal's not going to be spotted over the top of the smoke, and Attacker actually playing a fairly risky angle now that there's no longer a smoke there. Eventually will make the decision to fall back. Will be mid-control eventually taken, but ultimately it's still being fought for by TYLOO.
They've still got the fight in them. But they haven't got the mid-control. Over on the Tiger side, they've given up everything towards A. You see NCL falling back and moving in towards the rest of his team. And I presume then that's going to be a B hit. They want to go down through short nines, being shut down. No trade possible. Cabal, though, on the bench. And he's absolutely wrecking them. Eating them up like you would a ham sandwich from that bench. Not a big fan of ham sandwiches, to be honest, Tom. More of a chicken and cheese and mayo guy. Myself.
Right.
There you go. Bit of fun facts. As Summer, well, he shuts down NCL. He's got the backside. They can't plant just yet. 15 seconds, though. They've got to go fast. How does he get away with that? Oh, Dobu pulls it off just about the time restraints. It was an op that was holding him, but nothing can stop that one tap.
This man deserves to be in the final. This has been an incredible performance from Dobu. So many rounds that he has managed to win. I think we can pretty much seal the MVP for him now. Like, this is ridiculous. The taps to kill off Danking as well. It looked like he had them dead to rights, and now look at what the purchase is. A Mag 7, an MP9, but you still got that trusty AWP. Is he really going to go back for more? There's a man who's already crossed. Urka's waiting. The fake jump across, and that's perfect. Very well played by Tiger to get rid of the danger man, but Attacker still going to reface here. Cabal will shut him down, and now the two weapons remaining, well, the worst ones. A Mag 7 on a retake from CT, but slowly at least. Will retrieve a rifle. You can see the patience of Tiger. I like this, though. They know how aggressive this CT side like to be when it comes to trying to stop the plants. The problem is, I genuinely don't see a way they win this round. Like, slowly has not been good. 5-17 now. And somebody, in fact, is even starting to second guess as to maybe this is a B play.
Slowly's at least taking down NCL. Here we go at the swing from somebody. He gets over to tall box. Mag 7 now perfectly viable from this position, but he's not going to get anything done, unfortunately. And slowly, well, he meets the same fate. 14-7, Tom. It's getting all too real at this point. I can already hear it in the background. It's getting louder. Hey, I knew they were going to win this game from the very start. 2-0, I said. Hey, boys, did you see I said 2-0? Sorry about that. Dingo just joined the broadcast for a second, but he's gone back to make a ham sandwich again.
Still waiting for Blair to join. Can we hear that?
Anyways, we're looking at 2 rounds needed for Tiger to take this across the line. And did you notice, by the way, Tom, that Dinko is wearing a shirt with white patches on it already? I think he's learned from his mistakes yesterday. He won't have to change his shirt this time.
It's a smart.
It is. It's a smart decision, I have to say. But Tiger 2 rounds away from taking it. Oh my god, what an entry by Urcast. You gotta be careful though. They've stacked up, right? They've got that weaker buy. This is where pistols can come on through, and Dan King, well, he's shown exactly what we mean. The problem is, Urcast, well, he's just pulled a Houdini. He's taken the rabbit out of the hat. He was selling the fake, but then they've taken so long to get in the site. What's happened? They just slowed down completely. They were scared of a FAMAS when they had the numbers advantage, and now the rest of the team have rotated in. Big mistake by Tiger. They've got to deal with the player on short. They know there's one side as well. The info is there to play with, so they won't be caught off guard. But winning these duels is going to be hard. NCL dropped to leave 9 in a 1v3. Don't peek this one by one. For God's sake, he's got an op, and you know it. This is scaring me at this point. The swing back out. Oh my god, 9! He's almost got it! They peeked him one by one, Tom. My heart. It can't take much more of that.
Well, again, right at the depths, TYLOO are going to win themselves a round. It seems like maybe they're waiting for no one to truly believe in them anymore, because I think we've got to that point. I think even at this stage, Blair might have jumped off the wagon. Who knows? He might still be wearing his TYLOO shirt. I doubt it. Probably getting a white t-shirt and drawing up a Tiger one as we speak. The buy from either side, though, has its vulnerabilities. Not a whole lot of utility for either sides. A FAMAS in play, an MP9, and well, a Deagle and a Tech 9 on the other side. That nade from Attacker. Not actually going to do as much damage as I thought. A second or two later, and he probably hits the whole team. He's waiting, though, but Nine's actually not going to push into the window just yet. He's just going to wait patiently. Gives him an angle into the ladder room. And at any moment, he can opt to pounce. Dan King's still here with the AWP. He's going to go spotting into the connector. Urkis is waiting. He's actually not going to see anything, but he gets shot at just as they opt around the corner. Nice work from Attacker, but it's only one. The trade's coming back, and, well, that's okay. Slowly goes down to 9 as well. Leaves 3 players standing for TYLOO. Tiger a little bit more hesitant. They go walking in with the bomb, though. Dobu has just handed that into the clutches of the CT side, and the timing for somebody, it seems almost perfect. Waiting just behind them. Any move they make, and he'll be right on their tail, pushing through the smoke. A free kill onto the bomb planter. 14 seconds left for the T's to make their play. I don't think they have enough time, and somebody's not going to give them anything. Closing out the round. Dan King may fall, but the orb's retrieved. And now money truly is in the bin for Tiger.
Could be the comeback. I can see Dinko sweating. And I'm sure he's worried about the game as well. With 14-9 on the board, 2 rounds for Tiger, all they need. But TYLOO, they're going to creep up to double digits in this one. Unless some sort of miraculous Glock play comes through. I don't know how you say we lose to Glocks in Chinese, but I think we'd find out after this round if TYLOO do end up falling. But Tom, it is still a pretty long road. And, you know, I feel like we give TYLOO a lot of room. You know, we give them a lot of space when they're in these deficits because we just know who this team is. We know how they play and how they generally manage to come out on top. But this time, things could be different. Maybe we're giving them too much respect.
That's always the thing. Like, it's the way that TYLOO plays, it's honestly impossible to tell whether they're criminally underperforming, whether they're just not turning up at this tournament, whether teams have finally caught up to them, or if they're just still just playing silly. Like, it's really odd watching this squad. I don't think I feel like this watching any other team in the world. Maybe FaZe occasionally because of their inconsistencies, but I don't ever, there's not a point where I say, yeah, FaZe are probably just mucking about. Whereas with TYLOO, that is something that we've mentioned many a time. I can't say that anymore because no matter what I might say about this roster, I don't think they're going to intentionally get eliminated from the tournament. So 14-10. They need every single round remaining to take this in normal time, and they can only afford one mistake to even stay in the tournament. Even that could be enough to destroy what is left of their economy. Danking looking to try and hold the cross onto short, but there will be a deep smoke available. About taking a little bit of initial damage, and somebody's managed to dominate the apartments. It may not be something he plans to hold on to, although never mind, the deep smoke is going to convert it even further, but he opts to just fall back. Maybe trying to sell things a little bit to the offensive side, that they are still holding on to that position. Maybe try and force them into what is that, again, that aggressive A-ramp hold, something that TYLOO throw in regularly. Something that should definitely be expected at this point.
Yeah, we've seen them do that a lot. It was actually something I was thinking towards the start of this round, how dangerous it's been whenever any team has ran into it, but it is going to be the B hit that Tiger moved towards somebody. He didn't spot them out there, right? I don't think he did. Guessing that was off of time, but in the end, they're coming forward. He gets the first. He's got a player tucked up on short, ready to take a kill as they dive on out slowly. Oh my God! A quick double on the spin around. Cuts it on a dime, but it's... Oh... It's close. Actually, damages up Dobu as well. A wallbang leg shot to leave him on 59 HP. A nade comes through to tickle him up a little bit more. This is looking nigh on unwinnable for Tiger. They've got to hit their shots immediately when TYLOO come out. The swing there by Dobu. He can't get anything done. He's looking for frags, but not finding a thing. They tried to force the fight, but now time... Well, it's to be played with by TYLOO. They're pushing forward, the first for NCL, but he's so low, has to hit the headshot, and they played that very well, actually. With attacker swinging out for the info, pulls back in, and then they both go at him together, so that even if he hit that shot, he would have to instantly 180 headshot the other player, which I don't think would be physically possible. And 14-11, TYLOO, they are making this comeback a serious reality.
Yeah, we saw this in the last map, though, and all it took was one mistake to inevitably put them out. They ended up losing to what was just pistols, which is likely all we're going to see in this round. It's enough for AKs, for sure, but I think if we do see Tiger go into this round, I'd be a bit uncomfortable with the level of risks they're taking. We are at least seeing a few of their players rise to the occasion. As mentioned, Slowly had a very, very poor start to this game. He was 5-17 at one point. He's slowly coming back into things. A nice round from him at least there. Now, it's just going to be some pistols for Tiger. Of course, an upset round, a cheese strategy. This would be the perfect time to do it. I think they've got a much better matchup in the form of Vici coming. Both teams playing the more strategical Counter-Strike to what has been a ragtag TYLOO. And actually, an investment into a double op setup, it could be the perfect time for this faster play into the B site. Somebody's going to be getting aggressive. Going to spot out one. Nades thrown out, but the Molotov, he's going aggressive. Really, somebody, this is not the time for this. He might get shut down by the pistols. He just about manages to escape through the Molotov. I'm going to smoke it. That's interesting. They killed off the player on short, though. Slowly's actually the one to suffer. Attackers rotated in early. A few missed shots, but they line up eventually. And now NCL's the only one left. Summer to close a shaky round, an uncomfortable round, but a round nonetheless.
14-12. An uncomfortable round indeed, Tom, but as they get it across the line, TYLOO are in a spot now where they're hot on the heels of Tiger, one buy round away from equalizing things up, and this is definitely getting a little bit scary. Quaking in their boots. I have to say, if I'm Tiger at this stage, I'm feeling the pressure mount up. They're close to making and booking their spot in the grand final. guaranteeing more aura, more points. And not only that, Tom, but making it far more likely that they make it to the major. A win in this stops TYLOO from building up maximum points yet again. And that is incredibly valuable for Tiger, who I believe are currently second place, right? They're hot on the heels of TYLOO. Or is
I think
it
might
Vici?
be. I think it might be Vici.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're third then. Okay, so yeah, it's Vici or second, excuse me. But TYLOO being Tiger being third, still very valuable to take TYLOO down. It'll equalize points up, and then if they can win the grand final, we're looking at a very even region overall in terms of the point distribution coming into the next RMR. So this is a must-win if they want to be going to the major, especially if they're in third place, as we know they are now. Oh, somebody. He's going aggressive. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The cattle prods come in, Tom. Someone's told him this is not a good idea. But in all seriousness, he's realized that this wasn't the time to get aggressive. He'd probably just get swung on and traded at the very least. And here they come, marching on through. It should be a free kill for somebody. What?
Oh!
Cabal! Quickly in there with the one tap. And now a 5v4. Down goes slowly. Danking's low. This could be it. This could be the round for Tiger and a guaranteed overtime. But Attacker's doing his damnedest to make sure that's not the case.
Coming back at the depths, there's a player pushing in onto short as well. They've got to be careful with some of the angles that are being held. The aggressive truck spot wasn't the one. Cabal may have just been spotted as well. Attacker, he's got his third kill of the round. This is starting to fall apart. NCL, nice shot to take one. A second for Cabal, and NCL closes it. They've got the overtime guaranteed, and they need just one more to put the nail in the coffin of TYLOO.
Tom, this is... It's getting worrying, honestly. Tiger could be taking TYLOO down in the lower bracket finals. This is not the grand finals. This is not TYLOO fighting to be the best in the region yet again. This is TYLOO fighting to even make it top 3. Top 2 even. They are top 3 right now. Never mind. But crazy. Absolutely crazy that we're here. 3 rounds needed in a row for TYLOO. Not a lot of money for Tiger, so it does mean winning this buy round. Oh my god, Urcast through the smoke. He's just opened it up onto Attacker. Dan King's trying his best, trying his damnedest to keep them alive in this one. Urcast, don't do it! No! Oh, what? What? How did he get away with that?
That might be the whiff that just lost them the game. Somebody unable to connect their shots, and Urcast capitalizes on it. The bomb is dropped in a bit of an awkward position. As said, slowly, he's had a bit of a comeback over the last few rounds. He's going to try and reposition, catch these Tiger players off guard. You do have 9 currently watching, it seems, into CT just in case this becomes a reality. They're well placed for this sort of move, especially with the bomb plant probably going to be in a relatively open position. The peek out is risky, but he spots the first. Nade through, does a little bit of extra damage. It means the headshot would be an insta-kill if he finds it, but he takes the tag himself, down to just 49 HP. This is now Tiger's round to lose. 20-odd second, the peek out won't deny any sort of plant. And now it's up to him to try and make this retake a reality. 30 seconds left, and Tiger have made it through to the grand final, potentially eliminating TYLOO along the way, and it is done. Tiger are going to 2-0 the reigning champions of the RMR events, the team at the top of Asia for the last however many years it may be. And while